go. It is time. Welcome, everyone. Glad to have you all on board. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you are watching VolcanoX, a live stream. Welcome to all of you and everyone else, too. What will go on? Yep, the show will go on. You bet, Lizoid. And actually, I really don't know how quickly the Earth is spinning, but it depends on where you're at, really, and that is all cool. And yeah, just be thankful that we've got this thing called gravity, and we really don't even notice the spin. No centrifugal force indicated on our bodies. Yeah, at the equator. Yeah, at the equator is one thing, but, you know, what about up here in Edmonton? It's a different speed, Lizoid. Way different. And it all depends on where you are. Actually, if you're standing at the North Pole, right on the North Pole, are you in fact then spinning around like a crazy man in one spot? You'd be pretty darn dizzy if that was the case, right? I knew that would make you think, and anyway, that is pretty like a top, yeah? Your body would fly apart if it was actually moving that far. Anyway, glad to have you all on board, and welcome to all of you. And it is a Friday, the 18th of November, and Saturday in some places, depending on where you are. If you're in places like Piggy is, she's already in the future, and that is awesome. My phone is not being very smart. Sorry for typos. Scott Hartman, yeah, I guess your smartphone is not smart. I've got one of those too. It at times it really is not smart at all. Anyway, welcome to all, and let's get going at stuff here. First off, hi to the moderators. Welcome, Arizona Snowman hiding in the background. And, of course, Piggy is here. Welcome, Piggy. Glad you are on board. And we will be showing a picture of Piggy's new potential puppy she's getting. Puppy is still in puppy jail, but will be released in a week or two, and that will be awesome. That reminds me, I gotta change my phone, my iPhone. What are you gonna change your iPhone into, Ibito? Just curious. Or are you gonna update? Anyway, so welcome to Arizona Snowman Piggy, C&D Boy, and also some of the other ones that might be hiding in the background, like possibly Gary 24/7 Live, AZ Skies, as well as Lucas Snow, and maybe even Kevin, or no, not Kevin, Joseph Fields. How about him? And we might have a few others. There's Gary hiding in the background. I see the dots, but don't mind Gary, he doesn't talk much. Cat got his tongue. Ha! Cat got his tongue. I kill me. Oh, Gary. Oh, never mind. Too much fun. Anyway, first person in today was, and of course, when I was thinking about this, it was funny because first thought that came into mind when I had to write it down was Tom Cruise. So I wrote Tom Cruise Dice. There you go. A lot taller, but and just as good looking, right? Gives cookies to all. Excellent. That is awesome. Helen, welcome. Bonjour. And that is Iceland footage from August 11th of this year. Hopefully that is okay. And welcome, Helene, and got you in there. So we'll say hi to everyone and get going with our wonderful show. So for those, yeah, a bit taller, just a little bit, right? All good. And anyway, Welcome to all of you. We'll start out with at the bottom of the list and work my way up. So welcome to Kevin Haynes and Sue Hayes, Paul Williams, and of course Tom Dice we already got. Ibito, welcome back. Glad to see you. And Lizoid is here. Juliet also in the house. Henry Nelson made it in. Paul Williams, did I say that name? Scott Hartman already here. Helene Cartier, welcome. And who else we got? Jeremiah. And I'm going to try the last name, but I may butcher it. Is it Bedard? If I said it right. Hopefully I did. And welcome. And let's see, going up, we got John Raper, Scott Hartman, and Robert Frary also in the house. Grandma B is here. Welcome. Perfectability 999. Welcome, Brian. And Ray Jensen. Good to have you on board again. Going up a little bit more, looking for other fantastic names. And Tom Truelove back in the channel. Welcome. Still scrolling up here, looking for more of the good people. King Colin Deadman also here. And who else we got? We got Kevin, we got Paul, we got yeah, and who was it that said we got a wagon of Williams today? I thought that was kind of funny. Anyway, scrolling up here, looking for more wonderful names here. And who else we got? Just scrolling, looking for more names. Let's see. Who we got? We got Grandma B already, got Brian, and still scrolling up, a lot of chatting going on, which is really good. Sherry Hewitt was here, but already left and went to bed. Neighbor Pistol Pete is also on. Welcome, neighbor. See me waving out the window? All right. I don't think you can see. The trees are too big. Anyway, scrolling up some more, looking, and Juliet is in the house. Welcome, Juliet. And who else we got? Scrolling up a little bit more, looking for other wonderful names. And I probably missed a couple here and there, but I do apologize if I don't call your name out. I like to say hi to everyone, and that is always important to me to make that connection, to make sure that we acknowledge people like Linda Schoof as an example, and you know, things like that. And that is always good to have that personal, I guess, personal relationship in a way, and gives us a little bit more of a decent understanding, more family-like, right? Storm Chaser 1211 also here, and welcome. Scrolling up some more, Sophie, welcome, Sophie. And we see that Paul Williams, by the way, thank you very kindly for that £5 super chat. Very awesome of you. And scrolling up, and I'm up as far as I can go right there. I'll probably catch some more on the bottom. If I didn't call your name out, you know, just chat in the chat box. I will see you eventually and say hi to you. So not a worry. Anyway, let's get going at things, and hopefully we will see what we've got going on. Of course, the stuff on the screen is from August 11th, and that is Siggy Fisher, and that is in Iceland. And wow, another one. Paul, that is awesome. Holy mackerel. Thank you very kindly for that second £5 super chat. And that is very, very kind of you. I appreciate it, and thank you. And let's get going on things. So, let's see, where are we here? Wow, for the teacher. Holy mackerel, a Lizoid. Lizoid. Thank you very kindly for that $20 super chat. And that is awesome. And for the teacher, a Pepsi and an apple. Okay, well, I'll have to devour both. Hope there's no worms in that apple, but we'll have to leave it out for the magpies if there is one, if we don't happen to eat it. Anyway, let's get going here, and I'm going to use my magic, and I am going to freeze that volcano, and of course that is magic power that I got from Star Trek. Are U.S. and Canadian dollars different? Yes, they certainly are, Piggy. Big differences, big time. Our Canadian money is only worth about 75 cents of a U.S. dollar, so it's different. It's weird. Anyway, let's see if we can get over to our harmonic tremor chart. I think that thing still doesn't work, and we'll get over to it. I'm going to look, and there's our Fragile, and of course, no, still not working. So I'm disappointed, but hey, let's carry on with life. I'm not going to worry about it. We know the AskJot chart wasn't working either, so I'm not going to go up and check. We will go downward though, and take a look at holy mackerel for your marzipan bar fund. Holy mackerel. Tom Dice, thank you very kindly, Tom. That is awesome. Write that down too, and there we go. And thank you kindly, Tom, for that wonderful super chat. That is awesome, and I do appreciate that. And sliding down a little bit more here, let's see where we can get to first. I think Grimsey is the first chart we can look at today. It seems to be intact, but it is steady as she goes. Well, kind of up and down, but nothing major happening out there on the northern portions of our Icelandic area. And that, of course, Grimsey being its own little island, definitely not showing as much activity as what it was in the recent past. But it is still got some shaking and stuff, but no major quakes, nothing that we see. You know, yesterday we had a couple that we noticed, nothing in today's chart here at all. So anyway, let's go to the other one that is important, and it's still working, and of course that is Grindavik. And Grindavik is almost the same as what we see over at Fragile, since they are so close together, and this is what we see right there. So it looked like it was a downward trend, came up a little bit, back down, and continued on a flat level here. So not what we want to see. We want to see everything going up, up. But hey, we'll live with what we've got here right now. I mean, that is better than seeing down, 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 right? If everything starts hitting zeros, I'll be a little concerned. But, you know, as long as it is moving a little bit, and we do see some movement there, then we're okay. And I think we'll leave those there, and maybe have a look at the Hertibreed one. And that is this one, and one more. There we go. So Hertibreed is showing about 3 or 4 bigger quakes on the chart. Still quite a mess. Still undecisive as to what's going on there. I don't believe we're going to have an eruption in that area though, and it's just the feeling I'm getting. You know, most of this watching things go downward is kind of saying, hey, this is just going to subside, and we're not going to see anything, unfortunately. And you know, it would be nice. I'd rather save that magma for over at Fragile though, and hope that we will see something there instead. And that's kind of the way it is. Anyway, let's have a quick peek at our earthquake map. And actually, I'm going to put this one back on Grindavik so I know where it is. And we can always find the chart later. Leaves it somewhere where it's accessible. And let's have a look at our earthquakes in the area. And of course, today looks like in the last 24 hours we had 49 quakes. And that is all of Iceland. And really nothing super large. About the biggest one there I see is maybe a 2.2. Anyway, we'll start down here on the Reykjanes Peninsula, and that's of course the one that I want to see quakes around is right here, and there's nothing here. And you kind of see that line, the way this kind of goes around here. That's about the size of Fagradalfjall, and that is its own system, and they've kind of put those lines on there. It really does give you a little bit of a better idea, but it actually cuts off just before Kilauea, not all the way around it. But anyway, let's have a look and see what we've got shaken right here on the peninsula. By the way, that is the town of Grindavik. This is Keflavik, the airport. Then you've got Keflavik, Reykjanesbær, Jarðvík, and if you slide up over here, there's your capital city of Reykjavik. And of course, we're on the Reykjanes Peninsula, and that is what we're seeing there. Anyway, 0.97, 5.6 kilometers down, 57 minutes after midnight for that one. This one is a 0.64 in magnitude, 4.38 kilometers down from 10:14 a.m. Then we take a look at the ones that are not too far away from the Blue Lagoon, and that's over here. And there's the power plant. And these quakes are out in the open field area there where we see them. Anyway, 0.84, 2.8 kilometers down, 3:56 a.m. For that guy. At 4:30 a.m. we had a 0.52, and it was 1.3 kilometers down. Then we've got 0.49, 1.4 kilometers down from 4:18 a.m. Then 3:21 a.m. we had another 0.4, and that was about 0.7 of a kilometer down, or 700 meters. And in that area, that really is not anything too exciting to panic about, at least not yet. On the edge of Grindavik, right underneath the road here, and I'm wondering who crashed. It's right on the road. 1.3 kilometers down for this very small 0.27 from 5:14 a.m. And I know it wasn't me. I wasn't there. So all good. But that is the town of Grindavik, and it is a nice place, friendly people. Anyway, sliding over a little bit more, not too far away from Grindavik, there is Fagradalfjall, of course, Ragnar right in here, and this is the Siggy Fisher right over here, and that is kind of what we're seeing in our area. So no activity right now, unfortunately, and I'm wondering and hoping for more. Even Krusavik is quiet today, but over on the other side of the lake, the eastern side, we do see a few, and little guys, 0.1, 1.9 kilometers down, 1620 for him, then 0.7, 4.6 kilometers down, 1621, this 1.4, 5.2 kilometers down from 12:12 a.m., and then we've got a few stacked right up on top of each other here. 0.6, 4.9 kilometers down from 12:16, 1.29 from 6.3 kilometers down at 10:59 a.m. or just about 11 o'clock in the morning. 18:13 was the time on this 0.6, 7.2 kilometers down for him. And zooming back out, and that kind of takes care of most of the Reykjanes Peninsula. We'll count this guy here too. 1.4 in magnitude, 5.7 kilometers down, 12:37 for him. And we really don't see any more right there. Got some oddball spots up here, 1.79 and that is 644 meters down, 3:51 a.m. That is an odd location, but hey, it can happen. Anyway, a couple over here, this is not so odd. We do see activity in this area. Magnitude 1.68, and that is 1 kilometer down, 1345 for him. And then we have this guy, 1.56, 2.1 kilometers down, 6:51 a.m. And then from 6:58 a.m. we have a 1.48, and that is 2.8 kilometers down for him. And sliding around a little bit more, we take a look. This is, of course, Hekla right there, and we see a 0.85, and that is 9.5 kilometers down, 1437, very close to Hekla. And of course, the unpronounceable name, yeah, I know everybody's going to bug me about it. Anyway, 1.8, 5.2 kilometers down, 1750. And oh, hang on, Yvonne is not here. It's okay. What happened? Who got timed out? Why'd you time Sophie out? I was calculating in my mind. Piggy, what are you doing? I don't see any reason for having her timed out, but okay. Anyway, let's take a look at 1.8 to 5.2 clicks down, 1750. Maybe Piggy will tell me, maybe Pop had got at the phone or something. Sophie, don't panic if you're there. Anyway, 2 in magnitude, 5.2 kilometers down, 1735 was the time on that. And 1.8 magnitude, 5.2 kilometers down from that 1807. And then we see this guy here, 2.2, 5.2 kilometers down. That's getting a little closer to Katla, and that was from 1728. And there we go. We have this 1.5 out here in the water as well. That is 5.2 kilometers down, 1748 was the time on it. So that takes care of that. I bet you that was Poppet doing that. We'll blame it on Poppet. Anyway, 1.09, hang on. Am I over time already? Anyway, you'll be back, okay, Sophie, in a few minutes. Don't panic. Anyway, 5 kilometers down for this 1.09 from 639. And then we have this guy, 1.6, 1.1 kilometers down. No, plenty of time talk. Okay, 1630 for that one. And let's zoom in a little bit more. Anyway, that is which one? This is Bardabunga. Of course, Grimsbotn is right here. So this one is likely over by this other guy, another one that I can't pronounce. Esjufjalt. Okay. Anyway, sliding up, looking at what we've got here, and I bet you Piggy had slippery stuff on her trotters and couldn't hold the phone, and Poppet got it. Anyway, maybe that's Poppet's revenge for me scaring Poppet earlier with the music. It'll be okay. Anyway, we don't see anything at Astja at all, but getting fairly close there. We do see from 10:24 a.m. 0.6, 5.2 kilometers down for him, and then we'll zoom in a little bit, and Herdebrede right there. We do see some to the south of Herdebrede today, and that is kind of odd, but let's take a look at them. 0.8, 3.3 kilometers down, 2326, and then we've got a 0.5, 5.2 kilometers down from 2303. Then we also have a from 2319, 0.7, 3.9 kilometers down, and a 0.9, 3.7 kilometers down, 2248 for that guy. 0.7, 5.3 clicks down, 5:37 a.m. And yeah, welcome back, Sophie. And point of 4.7 kilometers down, 23:26 there. So we'll see what happens in the future. And let's take a look at these other ones. From 5:41 a.m. we had a 0.83, 4.2 kilometers down. And then let's go across, and it's easier to do this. 4:20 a.m. 0.75, 4 kilometers down. This 0.76, 1.5 kilometers down from 5:08, and then 0.74, and that is 3.7 kilometers down from 49 minutes after midnight. And we also have a 1.77, 2.1 kilometers down, and that was from 8:47. And I think we need that 3.3 kilometers down, and that was at 17:21. So that's got the northern ones there, and I'm not seeing anything that's popping up or scary. Welcome, Leo Carlson. And then speaking of scary, hey, how's Leo today? Feeling a day older today, are you? Anyway, 6:24 a.m. we had a 1.19, 2.2 kilometers down, and Leo's got to be growing an old beard by now. It's a whole day there. 15:16 was the time on this one, 0.82, and that was 968 kilometers down, and that's 968 meters down, not kilometers. I hope I didn't screw that up. A couple more here, kind of a little tiny swarm all in one location. And let's grab these top ones first. 0.37, 4.6 kilometers down, 9:37 a.m. for that one. This 0.73, 7 kilometers down, or 7.1, 9:28 a.m. And then we have a 0.75, 6.2 kilometers down, and that's 7:58. And then we have a 1.11, and that's 3.4 kilometers down, 13 minutes after 10 a.m. And from 8:32 this morning, we had a 0.88, 2.755 kilometers down for him. And that's basically got everything there. Then only two more, 3 minutes. I can do two in 3 minutes. Yep. Okay. And that is awesome. 1.4, 5.1 kilometers down, and that is from 2049. And we have a 1.35, 10.459 kilometers down, 10:18 a.m. And of course, there's the island of Grimsby right there for those who need to know. And remember all the swarming we had in here. There's just a couple little quakes here and there, and that is pretty awesome to see the differences. I did want to kind of check on the other map here for a second, if I can locate it real quick, and we will see if there were any new ones there. Actually, I'm going to refresh that map before I do anything, and just take a look and see what's happening. And Western Turkey, and yeah, Piggy had a quake this morning, a 4.0, not too far away, and that was at 4:26 a.m., 8 kilometers down, and that is not that far away. She also had a quake yesterday, a 3.5, that was shaking a little bit, and that was from yesterday at 22:18, and not that far away, and she did feel that one. I'm hoping there's no new ones there, but let me get us on that map real quick, and we will have a quick peek and see what we can find. If I zoom out a little bit, I want to go up and take a look and see what's going on up here in the northern area. Of course, here's where Iceland is, Norwegian Sea, Greenland Sea, and as we go up, we see a couple of, from yesterday, 3.4 there from 12:29, and then a 3.3 right beside them from 12:27. We do see some new ones up here on the mid-Atlantic ridge, and this one is a 2.2 up in the Greenland Sea. Yesterday's as well from 11:44, and then this one from 22:07 yesterday. There's also a 3.6, a little bit bigger, and that was from 21:03 yesterday, 26 clicks down, and a 2.2 also from that same time. So hopefully it's nothing major going on up there, but the fact that we are seeing quakes up there, that can have a repercussion on what's going to happen in Iceland as far as future quakes. And of course we don't see anything else on the Reykjanes Ridge going out into the Atlantic here all the way down. So that has cleared up a little bit. Anyway, it is time for me to go take a break. I'm going to put it back on the other map, and that way we can see that. By the way, just I wanted to mention real quick, we did have a fair-sized quake in Indonesia, 6.9 in magnitude, 25 kilometers down, came in at 6:37 a.m. their time. So that's what we've got. Anyway, let me go take that break, you guys. And it is Pepsi time. Going to put you back on the canned lava. I'm going to use that magic thawing thing, and we'll get that lava working again. And there we go. We'll let that run. Actually, we'll get rid of the big banner, and let's see if we can find it. There it is. Okay, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. If you're liking the show and you haven't hit that like button yet, please help us out. Of course, we're trying to target well over 100. That's when the YouTube analytics really kick in. Welcome, Kim Rowdenbush, and creeps in. And boy, you squeak when you creep. Sets the air horn-equipped timer behind Doc's chair, sets for 10 seconds and runs. Hang on, I've deactivated. I was wondering what that was making that noise. I deactivated it. I didn't even think twice about it. I guess I should become a bomb, what do they call it? A bomb expert, disarm bombs. Anyway, I'll be back in a little while. Please, if you haven't subscribed yet and you think the show is all right, by all means, hit that subscribe button if you feel we've earned it. On that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in cold Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I will be back in about 5 or 6 minutes. Don't go away, you guys. Thank you. And the microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you all on board. And yes, I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you are watching VolcanoX live stream. Thank you for the welcome backs from Leo and Paul Williams and Kevin Haynes and Ray Jensen and Kevin Williams and Sue Hayes and Linda. And welcome, Maria. Glad to see you, and sorry you're here feeling kind of sick. Hopefully you get better soon. And welcome to Ray Jensen as well, since just popped in there. And of course, I didn't say hi to Kim Raudenbush yet, but welcome, Kim. Glad to have you on board. Did I miss anyone else while I was away? Oh, by the way, thank you, Kevin Haynes, for donating that one gift membership. And Darren Peterson got it. So that's awesome. And let's see, I think we're pretty good with names for right now. In case I did miss anyone, like Kananaskis Country or somebody, we'll just kind of pretend they don't exist. No, I'm kidding. Welcome, Casey. Glad to have you on board. And it's all good. Anyway, we had a quick peek at the Iceland and the earthquakes and there, and we also looked at the new big earthquake they had in Indonesia. So hopefully everybody is okay over there. But let's leave our canned lava be. I'm going to use that magic freeze spray again. And there we stopped it right in its tracks. Gotta love that. That's neat stuff, that freeze stuff. And got it from Star Trek, you guys. Ordered it online. It's really cool. Anyway, let's pop over to Sicily and see if Sicily is still there. And apparently it is. I see it. 1:43 a.m. there in Sicily. And if we back up a bunch of hours, we can take a look and kind of sort of see what it looks like 9 hours and 25 minutes ago. That's what we were seeing. And all kind of clouds. And these clouds are kind of neat. I actually got the time-lapse video. I think you'll probably enjoy this one. It kind of looks like a cloud waterfall coming over the mountains of Etna. Anyway, I'll let you watch this, and pretty awesome. Linda says, zap. How come you're zapping? And let's play that. Okay, and there we go. Time lapse engaged and doing its thing. So here we go. The clouds don't start right off the bat. This is, of course, it's just the off-gassing from the volcano itself. And yeah, this video is moving at 128 times its regular speed. So if those Sicilian drivers look like they're driving really fast, well, they are. I'm kidding. They're going fairly slow. Wow, it's a highway, probably 50, 60 miles an hour, or about 100 kilometers an hour, or something silly like that. Anyway, this first portion, most of the smoke was coming over and towards the camera view, so it kind of dissipates and we don't see it as well, but nonetheless, it looked pretty cool. You funny, Jeremiah? Yeah, I can be a comedian at times. Anyway, it almost looks like it tried to build itself a lenticular cloud up on top of Mount Etna. And I don't know if it's because of the temperature differences up there that it trying to do that. But it gets really kind of neat looking here in a little bit. Once, oh, I hear somebody's dog barking. That's a loud dog. I don't know if you guys heard it. But anyway, here comes the clouds. And look at that. That is kind of weird. You know, I was watching the clouds roll over, and it does it again here right away. And it almost looks like it's a waterfall kind of thing, not pepper. Okay. Anyway, that is pretty awesome looking. And I thought it was kind of neat to be able to share that. for a time lapse, I think it's pretty cool. And then on occasion you see extra plumes in there and stuff. And I thought it was neat, and then it stopped after a while. And that was pretty much it. So that was the time lapse I had made up from earlier. And that, of course, was from 6 a.m. to roughly around noonish. And that was kind of cool. Anyway, back to what it was there about 8 hours and 25 minutes ago. Or sorry, 9 hours and 25 minutes ago. Seismically, everything is pretty much quiet. It's what we call low to medium activity. So not super quiet, but also, on the high side of quiet. And hopefully we'll see something happening in the near future. It would be really, really awesome to be able to find out. Hey, aloha, Mark the Shark, and welcome. I'm glad to have you on board. And anyway, that is what we're seeing at Sicily today. Let's pop over to other places, and I think we can do the Azores next. And we'll have a quick peek, of course. Let's get that screen a little bit different. Anyway, there we go. That, of course, we are on the island of São Jorge, or São Jorge, if you want to say it in Portuguese. And this is the harbor down here, and it's all lit up. And then you've got one of the small towns there. And, of course, the lights over on Pico Island. For those not familiar with this particular scene, I do believe that is the picture. Yep, it is. And that is what it looks like during the daytime. So you can see the harbor down below the little town site. And of course, across the 18 kilometers of water, you see the island called Pico Island, with Pico Volcano sticking out up top there. And that is pretty awesome. The other shot, of course, is going to be of this cove. And what we do is we take a look at that cove to see how much white water we see, to kind of gauge and see how rough the ocean is. But let's pop over there and have a quick look at that. There it is. And we see some white water in here a little bit at the beach. Not overly large amounts, but a little bit on the rough side. So bring at least your medium-sized boat if you're going to go out fishing at night. And hey, look, it looks like there's some kind of boat out here in the water anyway. Maybe you can go join him, go for a fishing trip or something. That'll be cool. Nighttime fishing with lights is always, I think it's illegal. I don't know. Anyway, that's what we've got there, sorry. And let's take a look at what we've got for quakes in the area. And of course, not a heck of a lot going on there, shaken or any stirred areas or anything like that. We had one quake showing up on São Jorge, and that was only a 0.9, and it happened at 22:55 today. So that is what we've got happening there. And thanks, Leo, for bringing up that link for anyone who wants to pop over there and have a look. You can take a look at this a link there, and that will get you the latest on the Azores, or on São Jorge anyway. I think that's what this one is for. No, hang on. Yeah, that's this particular map. It's just for São Jorge. But if you want, there's the other one at volcanodiscovery.com, and that slightly different map. I'm going to refresh that. It deals with the entire area of the Azores, and we could see what else is cooking, or shaking, I should say. And right there is the one that we see 1 hour and 56 minutes ago, 0.9 on São Jorge. But we see down here 7 hours ago we had a 2.2 out in the water, very close to the East Azores ridge, or East Azores fault. And of course that fault extends quite a ways. So 2 in the area today, nothing really major. I'm zooming out so you can kind of see where you are. And of course, Portugal and Spain over here. There you can see Newfoundland and Nova Scotia, and of course up here is Iceland. So there's the Rikens Ridge down to about this point, and they call that the Mid-Atlantic Ridge all the way down, and East Azores Fault going up to about that point. And a North American plate here, Eurasian plate here, and of course the African plate on this bottom side. And that is it for right there for now. Let's put this back on here so when I go look for it later I can find it. Moving over, and we want to see the next shot. And of course I still have that shot of the tephra on there. This was at Kopahu. Is it Kopahu or Kopahu? I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but that was down in Chile/Argentina, and that was the tephra that was all over the volcanic ash that was all over the aircraft there at the airport, and doesn't look good. Won't be flying that for a little while, but I'll take the next flight. Yeah, me too. And typing it is one thing, Sue. Pronouncing it is a little different. Kopahu. Anyway, well, I'll leave that guy be. Let's take a look, and we're not seeing that. Hang on, I got to get on to that picture and find where we are here. And there we go. A Popocatépetl. Isn't that a beautiful sight? Volcano grave for the most part, but that's what we're seeing. Let's back that up a whole bunch. We'll actually look at the volcano. And this is going back about 11 hours and 40 minutes ago, as far as we can get back. 7:01 a.m. We do see it steaming and throwing out some gases. Didn't see too many major plumes there. I didn't check on it that much today. I was doing other things, so trying to just scan through here, see if we had a couple of spots where it went poof. And this one was kind of weird, right there, kind of a claw sticking out, if you will, and a little bit of off-gassing, extra gas down on the bottom. It didn't amount to a heck of a lot, and we see a continuous stream coming out and just off-gassing, and steady as she goes for the most part. And sometimes we do see this guy pop real well, but it didn't do a heck of a lot today. As we carry on, 9:49, we see that the clouds are already rolling in, and by 10:15, that's what the mess looked like. And that was pretty much it for the day, and that is what we got to live with. When I get to that point, though, we can see through those clouds, and that is it's a horrible sight. Somebody has spilled a bunch of either I think it might be icing sugar, perhaps, all over Popocatépetl, and that is what it is. So I'm not sure what's going on. Skies are vomiting snow. No metro viewing for me. Yep. Yeah, you guys are getting it there, Linda. I can understand that. Anyway, Popocatépetl is feeling your pain, and it too is got some snow on it. Anyway, it didn't want to show us its embarrassing moments there very well. Actually, maybe a little bit, but there it is. Holy mackerel, we did find a nice shot, and that is Popocatépetl, about 70 kilometers south of Mexico City. Thank you for the 4-minute warning, Tom. And we will carry on here and see what else we've got as it gets into the darkness again, and that is about 15, 16, 17 minutes ago, and that's what it looked like. Putting it back to live, and there we go. So we see some stars up above, no UFOs coming in, and that's all good. The other shot is stuck, I think. Let's see if it'll clear up a little bit, and I hit the live button. That is a little bit more distant from the volcano, so harder to see, but we may be able to see some of those snow-covered times there as well. There, that actually looks nice. Isn't that a pretty looking volcano? And of course, that is the second tallest mountain in Mexico. So very, very cool to see that somewhere around 18,000 plus feet. So awesome. Next one on our agenda is another one that is completely hidden, and I don't know if we've got any visibility. I looked back earlier, I did not see anything, and they had restarted this stream. We do have a little bit of visibility right about here, and that is Fuego, and Fuego, of course, is in Guatemala, and that is slightly south of Mexico, and that is what we've got. I did reboot camp at Great Lakes. I did a boot camp at Great Lakes. Oh boy, boot camp at Great Lakes in the snow, Gary. That would be nasty. Anyway, not that much visibility of Fuego in Guatemala, and let's see. That is kind of, let's put it back on live, and we can't see a darn thing as the clouds go by. You do see a little bit of a glow spot there, and that is of course the top of the caldera, and maybe we'll see it clear up a little bit. We know they've got horrible storms there. Just north of Chicago, Dr. Fox. All right, lots of stuff going on there. Too dark to see a mumbo tumbo, and a little bit up here in the caldera, a little lighter spot, but that's it on that picture, nothing else. And let's see, there we do have a shot, and that is from today, and that is of Messiah's crater, and you're looking deep into the caldera, and there's the lava. And it definitely has active lava down in the bottom. That is very, very steep going into there. It's not for human access, but you know, if you want to sacrifice someone, a perfect place to do it. And that should be about it. I think we are at 6 o'clock, and it is a time for me to take another break, and I am going to do that. And let's see, I know what I need to do. We'll click on here, and of course that is Merapi, and of course it was looking nice. Now they got a cloud coming in. Of course when I get back from the break it'll be totally cloudy and we won't see it. All right, let me put you back on some canned lava though for right now, and I think we've seen most of that one. Let's turn on a different one here. We might have seen that one before too. Let's try a different one. Yeah, we've seen that one too. I gotta get more canned lava out, and I'll let it play. Anyway, turn that back on. I'll let you watch the rivers of lava flowing freely. And on that note, please, if you haven't yet hit that like button, please help us out. Of course, our target is to get way up there above that 100 mark, and that would be really awesome. Anyway, for those good people who haven't done that yet, give it a bump. Also, if you're sitting on the outsides and you have not yet subscribed, but you're liking the show and you feel we've earned it, by all means hit that subscribe button. And on that note, I want to remind everyone that after the break we've got bacon seeds coming up, and from there we'll carry on with the show. So I'm your host, DrFox2000. I'll be back in 5 or 6 minutes. Don't go away. Thanks. go. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you all here. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX, a live stream. Linda slips and Sue flies. Holy mackerel, what's going on? We've got the flying Walendas out on the dance floor. And thank you very kindly for the welcome backs from Kevin Williams, Leo Carlson, Kevin Haynes, Sue, and welcome back, Daddy Fox. Thanks, Piggy. Piggy, by the way, I don't know if you noticed, but when you must have left for a second or two, and Sophie got timed out. I don't know if you noticed that. I did email you, and I don't know if you got the email, but I figured Poppet took over while you were gone, so you left the phone in the wrong spot. It's okay. It was just a timeout. It wasn't anything serious. It's just as soon as I seen that, I'm going, well, hang on. She didn't say anything bad. Why did she get timed out? It was funny. It was funny. And by the way, Tom, I was reading the label, and apparently the good stuff has something called iguana saliva in it. So Henry might be on the right track, but he's not an iguana. Lizoid might be able to make that work, but I don't think you can, Henry. Anyway, the cat is mad about the new puppy. Sophie, are you misbehaving? Actually, Sophie was being very polite. There was nothing bad. And I thought it was just hilarious when I seen that. But anyway, it's bacon seed time, so let's get at it. And I'm sure Sophie understands that if Poppet did that, that's the way it is. Anyway, I used that not in the Poppet eyes. Okay, I've used that spray again from Star Trek. It works really well. Freeze that volcano. Let's go over and have a look at bacon seeds. How did I get involved? Well, Lizoid, lizard, and iguanas, kind of all the same family, aren't they? Okay, never mind. Yeah, we just happen to have you there. Anyway, let's see what good Piggy sent us today. And we're checking our emails. And Lizoid, go lick Tom's scope. And okay, it is pretty awesome. Okay, there's Piggy, of course, doing her thing. And for those who need to know, I hope so. Really sorry, Sophie. You're now in the elite club. Yeah. Anyway, very good picture right there, and of course that is potentially Piggy's new little pet, and once it gets out of puppy jail, it will be heading to join Poppet and Lena and the rest of the clan. And there it is, Thistle, and Thistle is cute as all can be. And that is a wonderful looking little puppy, and I'm sure she will be growing up to be a good girl. And that, of course, is Piggy's new addition that is coming. Not there yet, but is coming. Once that dog is old enough, it will get out of puppy jail. Lizoid would not be long for this world if that was done. Yeah, we kind of understand that. Anyway, I want to say congratulations on your choice, Piggy. That is a wonderful looking animal, and I hope that it grows well with your family there. Let's get on to bacon seeds and see what we've got. And these guys are going, ooh, look at the new puppy. And that is awesome. And of course, those were the last two we left off with yesterday. let's get on to today's. And there's, I think we've seen him before, in a sheep's clothing. Wolf in sheep's clothing. No, hang on, a pig in sheep's clothing. An imposter. Anyway, that is always neat and nice to see. But let's carry on. At least it's fall time. He's keeping warm. Thank you. She's under. She is uber cute. Can't wait to bring her home. Awesome piggy, and I wish you the best of success with her. And here's another one dressed up for fall, and that one wearing his hoodie. He's in the hood. Anyway, pig in sheep's clothing. Yep. Feeling blue. There you go. This one is, I guess, almost feeling Scottish. Checkers. Okay, never mind. Bad joke. Okay, carrying on. Next bacon seed. Plaidish. And this one, of course, a cute little guy. Looks a little freaked out. Say, hey, how come this floor is all purple? And I can't figure it out. It looks weird. Pigs aren't purple. Anyway, that is the first of our really cute looking bacon seeds. Let's carry on with some more fun stuff. And yum yum yum. Of course, piggies like ice cream, and that one doesn't need a spoon, and just lapping it up. And that is a wonderful piggy having a little bit of ice cream. And trotters firmly planted, and away it goes. So ignore the rug, eat the ice cream. What rug? There's only ice cream there. That's what it's all about. And next, a bacon seed. He didn't miss the boat. No, he didn't. Got to it, and I think that might be a lava flavored or something. But this one is jealous. He wants some too. Pardon me. Nice snout bobber on him, and very nice looking little piggy. We do like that. That is awesome. Okay, next one. We've got more fun, and that is another beautiful looking little bacon seed. And that one is looking for some as well. Look at the nice smile on his face. And of course, on some fun fur. Definitely liking that. And that is pretty cute. And what, Einstein piggy? Yep. Anyway, here's a little bit of fun. My pillow is a pig. Your argument is invalid. Invalid. And that is a pig pillow. And it is pretty awesome to see. Just imagine having a pillow like that. How do you fluff it up? I think it'd be hard to fluff up. I just don't quite understand it. It would. Never mind. It's a pig pillow. I guess it's different. And our last bacon seed for today, also a little bit on the funny side, and that is this guy. And of course, you know what that says. Have a nice day, oink oink. And that is awesome, you guys. So really, really cute. And we gotta love it. And that is a really kind of neat and nice. And we'll go from there. So I have to go. The young bucks just showed up. Good night, all. Henry, Tom, crack the whip. Get that firewood in place. And have a great evening there. And take care. Okay, moving along, we want to go to Merapi, while we can still see a little bit of it. And that same cloud has been going around. It's come back again for its third trip around, waiting for us to cover the volcano up. Every time I click away, it it disappears, and then when we click back, we see it coming in just right in the same place. If we go back even a little bit, we do see that it seems to be hanging there, and I don't know what causes that, but it is really, really close to the volcano itself. Must be a little windy there. We see it moving back and forth. We don't see anything on the tremor line, so pretty quiet there. If we go back a little bit further, we see it like that in the earlier hours of the morning, 6:18 a.m. for them. And of course, they're already on the 19th. They are in the future. And we do see it kind of curling around the top end of that volcano. That whole area up top here would be a lot warmer than the rock down on the bottom here, because of course you've got a bunch of magma sitting up in the caldera up here. So of course the colder clouds are going to be attracted to the warmer stuff. If we go back a little further, we do see it this way. That cloud is gone, and of course then they are also showing the other views, and not too bad, but we don't see any lava. And then we go back a little bit further, and there's that darn cloud again, hugging the top of it, kind of making a lenticular cloud up top. Unfortunately, we don't see it so well because it is 3:51 a.m. and when we go back a little bit more, it's not viewable at all. And even when we go back, that's what, 8 hours 20 minutes ago right there, 10 hours ago, and not good looking. So putting it back to where it is now, there we see it, and 8:22 a.m. There in the future. And moving over to the next one, we pop over to New Zealand, and we have a look at Mount Ruapehu. And Mount Ruapehu was visible for a little while, but not necessarily well. And let's see if we can find the spot where it was actually visible. I did see it for a little while, but it wasn't that great as far as visibility. There's some of it, you can see it underneath there. Anyway, Mount Ruapehu, snow-capped, and lots of low-hanging clouds zipping by. So not so visible for us again today. Some days are better than others, and yeah, lots of clouds in there. Anyway, nothing major going on there, so we're not really going to worry about it. I'll put it back to live. That is the present view there at 14:23 in wonderful New Zealand, and that's getting around the planet fairly quickly. Let's go to our next one, and they are back on the air. They did turn their stream back on, so I'm happy, but unfortunately, same thing as what we see happening at Merapi, and that is a lot of cloud. We know they've got storms all over in the area. Makes things a lot more difficult to view the volcanoes. And of course you can see there's rain coming down, and the river here where their crossing is, it is kind of getting a lot of water in there as well, and makes it a little difficult to do anything. They weren't running that stream for that long today, but we do see some of it, and again, quite a bit of cloud up top. And we really can't tell what's going on there this morning, if anything. And there's more rain, you see, it's coming down, and you couldn't tell what the heck is going on. Even if we go back all the way here, this is 8 hours ago, and let's see, yeah, it really doesn't look any different. And even 10 hours ago, wasn't quite as much rain, but still not seeing anything. No lava coming out of the volcano today, unfortunately. And here we get back to about 11 hours ago, And we do see this funky looking cloud up top here, but it really isn't doing anything. Actually, you know what it looks like? It looks like a lizard or something sitting on top. There's the tail, and there's the head, and there's a couple of, there's a claw on the back leg, and yeah, something sitting on top of the volcano. Or hang on, is that, or is it something like a hippopotamus? I have no idea. No, hippos don't have long tails. Never mind. Anyway, we do see that. Linda, are you going? Oh, oops, power out. Catch y'all later. All right, Linda, take care and crumble time. And stay warm, Linda, and all the best to you. And thanks for being here. Hopefully you have a little better time there with the power and the like. So be good and be kind, and we'll see you in tomorrow's show, we hope. And remember, tomorrow is Saturday, so the show starts early. And a gecko, a morning gecko. Let's confirm. Lizoid, was that a morning gecko? Anyway, we do see right now, we just popped back to live. We do see a little bit of a plume coming out of there now. And that is always interesting to be able to catch those while they're actually happening. 8:26 a.m. it was pluming, and pretty awesome. Don't see any lava. Since we're not on a close-up, it doesn't really help us any. But anyway, that is what we got. Looks more like a one than me. All right, no worries. And anyway, we'll leave it be. We see it's doing its thing, but we can't see a heck of a lot. Moving on over to another one we can't see very well. It's in the fog, and of course that is Sakurajima in Japan. And there you go. If we go back a little bit, we can see a little bit more. About 2 hours, 15 minutes ago, we can see the mountain, but also see a lot of off-gassing and stuff, clouds moving through. So again, inclement weather for them. And of course, if we go back 3.5 hours, it was back in the soup, very hard to see at all. Nighttime wasn't as quite as bad. You can see the clouds so hugging over top of the mountain, and I'm not seeing any glow in any of this. So kind of going, well, there might be a little bit of a glow right there. Hard to tell, it really is. If we go back a little bit further, let's see, right about there, that's even worse. And of course, nighttime shots, always difficult to see anything. 3:43 a.m. is what it looked like there. Moving back about 8 hours and 40 minutes ago, we do see a little bit of a glow right there. And that is at 1:47 a.m. So we know there is active lava in there, but definitely not spewing out or anything like that. I'd like to see some nice lava flows. Slow, meticulous lava flows. I don't want to see it blowing up. Well, it kind of would be nice to see it ejecting out of there, but I just want to see some low, slow lava flows showing some really nice bacon coming out of there, and I think that would be awesome. But let's leave it. We are going to go put that back on live. Take a look. We do have our ice cream boat down there. Take your umbrellas if you're going for an ice cream, you guys. The ice cream boat is in, or both of them are, and you can get your ice cream, but you'll have to battle the rain. Break time, it is, and one more little quick volcano to go. And of course, that is focusing on the wonderful drops. If we go back a little bit, and this is ESO. ESO is also in Japan, and you can see the caldera is right there, and of course the caldera floor being very hot, and since it rains, that water gets in there. It's a little bit of a lake inside there, and it steams off from that lake. So that is what we're seeing right now. It is a break time, and I am going to say, hey, you guys, if you are new in here and you haven't hit that like button yet, help us out. I do want to take a quick a break here, so please do bump that like button if you haven't done that yet. Also, if you are new and you have not yet subscribed, consider doing that as well. And on that friendly note, I am going to go take a break, be back in 5 or 6 minutes, and maybe 7, we'll see. And I just missed a bunny. There was a bunny in bunny land. It just popped through there. Let's get the music started, and I'm going to put you back on some canned lava, and we'll have to unfreeze the canned lava and make it go. And there we go. I'll be back. Don't go away. More to come. Thanks. we go. Microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you all on board. I see Brian Rock Real Fan made it in. Welcome and thank you. Welcome back, Rockin' Doc. And thank you, Leo. And thanks, Sue and Kevin Haynes. And I'm sure there's more. But anyway, we'll stop the canned lava. We're going to keep going with our volcanoes. And let's see, who else we got here? Hang on. Where's my canned lava? Gotta use that magic button. And it's the magic stuff that I put on there to stop the volcano. There we go. I got it. And thanks, Kevin Williams. And we are fixed there. Let's move over to our next location. And that one, of course, is Yellowstone. And of course, I checked Yellowstone earlier today during the day, and yeah, that place is full of snow. It's horrible. It's full of snow, and if you go Yellowstone, I just want to see what the temperature is there at the Yellowstone National Park. By the way, for those who don't know, I did do that, just exclamation W to be able to get your weather, so you don't have to type the whole word weather out. Anyway, minus 15 Celsius or 5 Fahrenheit there. Brr, cold. And but it doesn't look like it's snowing, which is really good for them right now, I guess. And that's what we're seeing there at Yellowstone. We'll leave that be, and we will move over and get over to Hawaii as our next destination on our tour. And there we are popping into Hawaii as soon as the screen changes, and there we go. From yesterday at 1846, that is what our wonderful lava pond inside Kilauea's caldera looks like. And that is kind of, yeah, I mean, it looks nice. We do know that the lava tube feeds it from this end over here and pushes that lava in, and it crusts over. And of course the crusting will crack as it gets pushed, and then you see these fantastic little lines in there. It looks really cool. You see some of the brighter spots, and that of course is where the lava is kind of sinking down, and what's happening is the gas bubbles are popping up to the surface, breaking some of that crusted over material open, and creating brighter spots. We do see the toe area, as we call it, over here. It does still have some lava in it, which is active, so nice to see. But that is what the nighttime shot looks like. Let's take a look at the daytime shot. It is light there, and there is what it is right now. And yeah, boy, that lava level is low. It is even lower today than it was yesterday. We can see another ridge, so it's almost like counting tree rings. We see how far down it goes. Boy, somebody better get the lava workers working and get that pump back up. And that is really, really far down, almost 5 meters down. Looks like a duckbill platypus. Could be piggy, definitely could be. Even here in the toe area, we can see how far down that level is, and you can see just a spatter down there of lava. And it's amazing that, you know, this is at least 5 meters, if not more, down in level. And where did all that lava go? And you know, we haven't had the pumper trucks out there for a while, so it makes you wonder what's going on. Anyway, that's kind of what it is. The stuff over here on the side also broke off some more, and that is very interesting. So we do see it's cleaning itself up, keeping those edges a little bit more kind of uniform rather than so ragged, sticking in and out kind of thing. But that's what we're seeing right now. Let's move to the other shots here. This one, of course, 1848 was the time last night when it was captured. There's your lava pond. Primary vent is over here. This is that little hornito where the lava tube actually goes into and flows out on that side. So it goes from here to here, and then from this thing over into the lava pond. And that's what we're seeing there. I'm surprised we're seeing a brighter spot over on this side here. That's kind of a little out of place, but hey, that's okay. And maybe even over there a little bit, and there, while we're looking at it, these tiny little dots. So we know there's fresh lava sitting underneath all that crust, and hopefully we'll see some refilling in the future. Anyway, this is the current shot. Again, primary vent right there. We can't really see that hornito. It's all hiding there in the smoke and everything, but it is there. Not so much smoke coming off the sides here today. Still a lot on the back side here, but that's about it. And let's take a look from over on this side this way, and that is this next camera view. Again, this one is from 1841 yesterday, and you can see the lava pond primary vent, the hornito top, and of course some of the other spots. This one being behind Pig Island, and it's got a friend over here now, and I think we got a couple extra hot spots, but that original Pig Island is right there, and it's basically become part of that bigger floating island or mass of cooled lava. Here's what it looks like during the day, and again a primary vent, hornito over there. You can see a little bit of that opening there of the lava tube on the bottom, that darker area, and of course that is where it's flowing in. That too has kind of filled itself up a little bit, so in the future that might end up, if the lava level goes too low and there's no flow, it's going to stall and fill itself up, and then we'll see the lava flowing out over top again, changing the whole view of what this is. You can kind of make out Pig Island right there, but that whole area here is about 4 or 5 meters thick of cooled down lava, which is floating on top of the lava bed, and lava slash magma underneath there. Anyway, thermal shot. This is from last night, 1844, and the lava pond and hornito toe area, and that one hot spot. We don't see the other ones on here, but you do see a few glow spots. You know, the temperature is a little bit higher in those places. So let's refresh that, look at it from right now. And that's where it got a little bit different. That is kind of spread out a little bit. Got to wonder about that. But here's your hornito, your toe area primary vent here, and very, very empty lava pond. Keeping fingers crossed that it will fill up. Let's leave that alone. That's, of course, Kilauea. And we want to go over to Mauna Loa for a second. And that was the shot from yesterday at 1846. Beautiful view, eh? Let's refresh that. Oh, it's foggy. And yep, the scary lava workers have put the fog up top here. Maybe they're planning something. We cannot see the back wall to the caldera. But that is all right, and we see the fog creating some smoke spots or steam spots on the caldera floor here. Pretty cool to see. Let's see if we can get over to the thermal, and we'll have a quick look at the thermal image. And of course, this is the Hawaii map that we use for that. there are a bunch of different things on there that you guys can do with it. And one of them, of course, is looking at the thermal camera, and that is available for you. If you type in Hawaii map, it will show up. Anyway, there's the thermal from 1530 is the time on it, and there you see what it looks like, and that is with a fog and everything. Of course, the rocks here are very glowy. That is not lava. That is just the way they've got the camera set. The delta T, or differential in temperature, has been brought up quite a bit to be able to show the difference of what's going on there. If there was an actual eruption, it would actually show up as white till they adjust the camera contrast and delta T on it, that being the temperature gradient for the surrounding areas versus the lava. So that is what they're doing there. Anyway, going to put that back on this shot so we know where we are at, and we are going to pop over and take a look and see what our earthquakes are like. And as mentioned at the beginning of the show, the big news earthquake that we did see on the map is here. That was a 6.9 in Indonesia, and luckily it's not too close to the landmark, but we do know it's, due to subduction, and that's what we've got in that area. They did have an aftershock here, 5.4 as well, and from, I do believe, the 15th, so a couple days back, there was another one, 5.5 in that area, and an older one as well there from 16th, 4.5. So fairly active in that region. While we're here, let's just take a quick peek at this 4.4 that's sitting there as well, and that's a little closer to Krakatau, and Krakatau, of course, being let's see if we can get that framed up right. Krakatau being here, and the earthquake being there, so fairly close proximity, but not that close. Anyway, let's go over to Hawaii, and we'll take a look at the Hawaiian earthquakes. Slightly weirdish, new-looking quake right over here. 2.8 from 1845, 14.7 kilometers down, and that is in the low area. And of course, this is Mauna Kea, where all the telescopes are, and this is kind of the ridge that goes out towards the water here, and we do see that this is kind of high up on the ridge, but showing 14.7 kilometers down is pretty interesting. Anyway, let's get through these. One thing I noticed right off the bat, we don't have anything up here on Mauna Loa, with the exception of this one. So it's a 1.8, and that was 700 meters below sea level from 1345, and we're going to not have to worry about Mauna Loa. Let's get into the other ones here in Pahala area. Not sure where that is. Going to take a look at the ocean view, and it's definitely not a Luihi seamount. That is a little further out. That is right here. So it is halfway out to Luihi. Anyway, 2.0, 1:33 a.m., 35.1 kilometers down. We'll put it back on a satellite view and continue. These ones in the Pahala area, anywhere from 26 to about 37 kilometers down. This guy is a 2.1, 1926 was the time on it from yesterday. Then we've got this one, 1.8 from today, 10:27 a.m. Then this one, 2.1, 6:50 this morning their time. And last one in the water here is 1.8, 1:03 a.m. That one is slightly different depth, 11.2 kilometers, a little odd. But then we'll carry on here, 2.7, and that is 6:33 a.m. 2.0 from 4:27, and that is the general Pahala area. Let's move over to the northeast here a little bit more, 2.2 from 1:25 a.m. Then we have a 2.5, a little bit bigger, from a 12:25, and this guy is a 2.2 from a 3:40 a.m. and a 1.9 from a 9:49 this morning, and then this guy is a 1.8. Looking at what we've got here at Kilauea. We don't see any new ones right directly at Kilauea. This one up here, kind of in the hills a little bit, and that is at a 2.1 from 14:35. Again, that one is a 19.9 kilometers down, so a little different value there as far as the depth is concerned. And then the last one is this guy, 1.9. And that is 5:06 a.m. and 7.1 kilometers below sea level for him. So the odd quake out is this 2.8 from 1845. Makes you wonder what the heck is going on there. 14.7 kilometers down. Anyway, let's look at the North American area real quick. We see more quakes continuing there in Texas. Weird stuff. I'm waiting for something to pop out of there. There's got to be like maybe what do they call those on the show Dune? They got those landworms or whatever they call them that come out of there. I don't know. Never mind. Bad humor. Anyway, that could be in those areas. 2.5 there, a 2.9. We got a 2.0. And another 2.7 there. So a few more shakers in that area. Makes you wonder what the heck is going on. Sliding up here a little bit more, we see on the western side of the Juan de Fuca plate a 4.5, and that is I guess, well, really not going to do too much right there. I don't think they need to worry about tsunamis at that point, and no tsunami warning. It's kind of the wrong place for a tsunami. When you get these kind of ridge lines, if it was on this, yes. If it is on this, no. If it's on this one, yes. On this one, no. You know, if we had it on here, then we'd see something as well. So whenever they're kind of going into the land on a pretty much straight angle or whatever, it's not going to do any tsunami stuff, because even if the slip did happen, you might see a small tsunami go in either direction, but nothing really. Sandworms are huge. Humans can ride them. Yes, Sharon Stewart and Dune, I know. I don't think I'd want to, though. Actually, Sue, we checked. There is no fracking in that area. And that is kind of, a few people have told me this already, that there is no fracking going on there. And that was, of course, my first assumption. Is it fracking? And, you know, and fracking, for those who don't know what they do, no drilling for oil either. What they do is they drill down and they inject nitrogen to freeze up the area. And what happens is, by doing that, then that frozen area will crack and break and create all kinds of different voids in there, and allow the oils to flow into certain spots. Then they will steam it out of there, and that is kind of what fracking does in a nutshell. But they aren't doing any of that there, and I don't agree with fracking. It's not something that I would push for. We do see more activity here in Puerto Rico, and we do see a little aftershock from that bigger one they had there, that 5.0. We do see a 3.2 there from today at 1635, 18.9 kilometers down for him. Anyway, sliding down, looking along the South American coastline, we don't see anything new there. We're not seeing anything new other than what we already checked out here at Svalbard, which isn't registered with USGS. We didn't see anything there. And then we take a look down here the southwest of Africa, 5.5 way down, and I'm not sure what that line is called, or that fault, but 5.5 from 1749, 10 kilometers down for that. And let's go actually over here to our Indonesian, Malaysian area, and even looking at New Zealand. New Zealand fairly quiet, but we get on the Kermadec Ridge, or Kermadec Islands, 4.6 from 1944 yesterday, 10 kilometers down for that guy. 5.3 also in that same region, and that was also yesterday's at 2337, 31.4 kilometers down for him. And we have another one that's stacked up here. They call it New Caledonia, but that's kind of all the same areas where Vanuatu's end islands are. But anyway, 5.0, and that is 10 kilometers down, 4:41 and this morning at their time. And then 4.5 Solomon Islands, and that is 77.9 kilometers down, happened at 20:59 yesterday. Sliding over a little bit more, closer to Luolatak, and that is in the Banda Sea, 4.3, 3:05 a.m. For him. We already had a look at these guys, no sense in looking at them again. We do see this here, this is China, 5.0, 15.2 kilometers down, happened at 10:27. And then we've got a 4.7 also in China from 6:23 a.m., 10 kilometers down. And sliding up, we don't see too much till we get up to the Kamchatka Peninsula, and that is a 5.0, happened at 1:33 a.m., 62.2 kilometers down for that. And let's carry on with looking at what else we've got cooking here. This one up in Mongolia or China, yeah, 4.3, and that is 4:44 a.m. Today, 10 kilometers down for that guy. And this, actually, one of these is Mongolia. That's Russia. Is this Mongolia? There's my Mongolian one, 4.3, and that is up there. But that's cool. And by the way, just to throw something in there for the ham radio operators, they're typically Mongolia does not have any official ham radio operators. Well, they have a bunch, but they're not allowed to chat, and with the exception of special occasions when the government allows it. And in my ham radio days, of course, I did get to chat with Mongolia actually about 4 or 5 times, and it is very, very rare to be able to talk to them. So I consider myself very lucky. Anyway, Piggy, if you need to go fall asleep, close your eyes, put the phone away somewhere so Poppet can play, and then we will be okay, all right? And that'll be all right. I have to turn the volume off on something else here to not get the background audio from my bunny land in here. Okay, there we go, fix that. And anyway, looking at these other ones, this looks like Afghanistan 4.0, and that is not too bad. 15:26 today, and 10 kilometers down. And then of course this one near Piggy, and that is a 4.3, and that happened at 10:14 today. And she did say she had a little shimmy, I think. 34 kilometers down for that, and that is south of the island of Crete right there, and of course Piggy being up here. So that should be all good. Anyway, hopefully Piggy will get some sleep and no more earthquakes. I did mention this one to her before, and then they happened to get the other ones in that area, and they definitely felt those. We also see one over here by Morocco, 4.3, and that is it. So that's it for our shakers on the map. We will go over to the Canary Island map after the break. I am going to take a little bit of a break and Actually, let's do yeah, no, let me take that break. We'll come back here afterwards. I'm going to refresh this and make sure that we've got everything covered. And we'll go from there when I finish the break. So stick around, you guys, a little bit more to come. And for all those good people who are here, if you have not yet hit that like button, but you're enjoying the show, by all means, give it a quick bop. Also, if you're sitting on the outside and kind of hesitant and don't know whether you want to subscribe or not, if you feel that we've earned it, by all means, hit that button. And don't forget to hit the bell notification. That way you know when we come on, as well as when we post other videos. Sometimes that happens too. And on that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I'm going to go take a 5 or 6 or 7 minute break and save my voice, and then I will be back. So in the meantime, I'll throw you back, not into, but back to a view, some more canned lava, and we'll go from there. Keep smiling and play nice in the lava. Don't hurt yourselves. I'm your host, DrFox2000. I'll be back. Thanks. we go. Microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000. You're watching a VolcanoX live stream. Welcome back, Boogie Wookie. Boogie Wookie. Wookie? Wookie. Okay, Doc. Thanks. And thanks, Grandma B. And Sue Hayes says, I'm back. Glad you're back, Sue. And I hear you from Sharon Stewart. And Woogie, all right, sorry, Leo, I guess old age does that to you. I'm sorry, I had to do that. Wookie, I can boogie, Leo. Thanks, Sue. A little too much fun. Gotta take the jabs while we can, you know. Anyway. All good. Let's go over and take a look at the Canary Islands and see what we've got going on there. Hopefully there isn't anything major going on there, and I didn't look at any of the other stuff there for the bad one today. I'm sure there would have been some more words saying about this 3.1 from yesterday. Anyway, that one was from yesterday at 4:44 a.m. and we are not going to worry about it. Let's zoom in onto La Palma and see what's happening there. So, of course, La Palma, we see a star flashing right in that spot. That is a 1.5 from 7 minutes after midnight. That's already in the future from the 19th, 6 kilometers down, and not sure exactly what that would be, just beyond the lava flows or thereabouts. But let's take a look at what we had for today. Really not too many. We have a 1.4, and that is 9 kilometers down, happened 56 minutes after midnight. There's a 0.6, very close to that, from 1:23 a.m., 10 kilometers down, and from 1:40 a.m. we had this 1.1, and that is actually out in the water and just right on the edge of the island, 12 kilometers down, and then also a 0.9 out in the water, and that is also 11 kilometers down, happened at 3:11 a.m. And then again, that star being right there where we see it, 1.5 and 6 kilometers down. So that's kind of what we've got going on in La Palma. Nothing serious, nothing new. That is going to scare us. Don't need to worry about anything for right now. And all good for the most part. So let's carry on, have a quick peek at our volcano map. And of course I'm going to refresh that one because we want to update and make sure we are very close to where we want to be. Let's see, point that down, there we go. I'll make that bigger and slide over a little bit, and there we go. So still everything in the Atlantic looks pretty normal. Nothing new there that I can see. We still have our 3 down here in Chile, and of course this Copahu volcano, Argentina / Chile, and that is the one where we've seen all that tephra on that poor airplane, all the ash and stuff, and that is down there. And of course we've got Nevados, the Chilean volcano, still erupting down there. Sabancaya still doing its thing, and Sangay, Cotopaxi, and then of course next one up is Reventator, and then Cerro Negro beyond that, and Perse, as well as Novedo del Aruz in Colombia here. So nothing really new. These are all the same. I'm not going to go through all of them. And looking at what we've got in the Aleutian Islands, nothing really changed. Great Sitkins was a yellow, was back to an orange, and actually I think I might even have a picture of that. Let's take a look at that. No, sorry, that is a picture of Popo. No, sorry, not Popo, Pavlov, I mean. And Pavlov looks pretty snowy to me, so don't go there. It's snowy. Anyway, let's pop back over to the map. Kamchatka, Shivalish still red, Bezimiani, and Karimsky still doing their orangey thing, and then our trio here, Alade, Ibiko, and Chikarachki are still working away. Our newer one, Ahai, in the Mariana Islands, still there. Hasn't changed. I haven't heard any more about it, so I don't think there's anything major popping up. I did try to look for new stuff on it, and really wasn't anything there. And thanks, Leo, for popping up those extra keywords and putting those links on there. That is great stuff. Thank you. Ta'al still there, and Bulusan, Mayon still working away. Ibiko, no, sorry, not Ibiko, Ibu and Dakono are still there doing their thing. Here's Luolatok, and I thought that quake was closer, but it isn't. That's not going to affect Luolatok at all. Ra'um still there, Semeru, Merapi, and Krakatau, and that is what we've got cooking there. If we slide down just a quick peek, they have not changed. Erebus, that is still down there. It hasn't floated away in the Antarctic. It's on its own island, by the way. And then, of course, Herd Island, a volcano down here. That, too, has not floated away. Neither has La Reunion Island, and that is Piton de la Formaise. And they are still considered active and red. And the rest are pretty much the same here. So Old Doño out here, still a black carbonate lava coming out of it once in a while. Urta Ale still there, and then of course we've got Etna, Volcano Stromboli, and then Campi. Campi not showing too much, of course. Back to Grimsvatn and Astja on Iceland, and we'll leave that map be. Time to pop over to our weather maps, and we'll get on to the SO2 first, and we'll give that a whirl. Going to refresh that. That's already a couple hours old, and there we go. Just to give you a general overview, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one today. We do see the stuff still pluming up that same way, going up into the Arctic. The leftover is still flowing back over into Canada and down into the US now as well, since the flow pattern has changed a bit. And here we see the colder air pushing all the way down and getting out all the way into Mexico. And there's the, because of the way this is kind of stalling in this area, the winds are not blowing everything away. It is sitting there. So Mexico City, of course, as well as Popocatépetl are creating most of that plume, and that's what we see. Not so much coming off of our other volcanoes in Central America, and then here in Colombia we still have our pretty much active areas, a little less in Ecuador, sliding down a little bit more. Seeing there's a lot of people pollution here as well, and I'm not going to worry about it, but some of that is drifting out into the Pacific. The other places, of course, the wind currents are pushing it back inland, and looks like some of it is actually recycling out into the Pacific up here as well as going into the Atlantic. So that's what we're seeing there. Not so much coming from White Isle volcano here in New Zealand, and nope, nothing from Leo's barbecue. We do see some from the refineries, but nope, Leo doesn't have his barbecue on today. And for sure, the coking plants are still working away. They're coking up new coal for Leo's barbecue, and of course going out here. Tofua here in Tonga still off-gassing, and the extra off-gassing that we were mentioning yesterday, we do see the was it Aoba, if I said it right. Aoba is continuing to throw off a lot of SO2, and that is kind of adding up. And Yasur, of course, still doing its thing here in Vanuatu, and pretty normal in Papua New Guinea area, and pretty normal here in the Indonesian and Malaysian areas. So Semeru looks like it's the dirtiest one today. Even Luolatok has calmed down a little bit. Ibu and Dakono not overdoing it either today. So friendly volcanoes. Pretty much standard stuff in China and Taiwan. Not seeing as much coming from Suwanosi-jima either here, or from Sakurajima. A lot less SO2 today. Sliding over a bit more. India pretty normal for a hot day, and we are seeing the circulation pushing the SO2 back out into the southern Indian Ocean out here from our South African smelting plants there. And not too much going on here. Still the two volcanoes and the coking plants in the DR Congo area doing their thing. And of course, when you look at Saudi Arabia and Iraq and Kuwait, actually Kuwait not so much today, but Saudi's refineries are doing their thing, as well as in Iraq. And surprisingly, not as much SO2 coming from Mount Etna. So Etna has quietened down, very little coming from Stromboli. So hopefully that's not going to do too much, but we do see a lot of that SO2 sitting up here in Northern Europe. And some of those countries are getting that pretty heavy, fair amount in Germany, but Poland looks like it's the heaviest. And then we see Belarus and Lithuania, and those places seem to have quite a bit of it there. And we'll leave that map be. We will get ready for doing our other one here. Actually, we can start that out. How come my clock is so far out? Yeah, weather map. All right, I was trying to figure out, as nobody's talking, that's why I was looking at the screen, and then I realized it is just about break time again. Anyway, while we're looking at it, I don't really want to take a break. I just want to get going on it, and we'll see if we can finish this. Just give me a second here. I'm just going to have a drink of Pepsi, and then we'll continue on with our weather. I do have to update this map though, so let's do that. We'll get it updated, and that's just about the same as what it was. I actually jumped ahead by 2 hours. That's a fine vintage. Must have been about 2 months ago. Anyway, that is, yeah, I'm drinking Pepsi for those who don't know. I'm sure you could have figured that out, but that's all right. Still seeing warmer areas here with this weather coming up the coastline of Alaska, which is kind of neat. Also seeing some cold spots here in northern Alaska and the Yukon. A little bit of a warmer trough in between when you get into our Northwest Territories. It doesn't get too cold till you get over here, none of it. And of course we want none of it. And looking at the western coast of Canada, we see even here down on the bottom Vancouver area, and that 4 or 5 degrees at the most, so that's kind of what they're seeing. But in the interior, anywhere from about 9 to 12 or 13 degrees below zero. Same thing for Alberta, actually a little less We are in the single digits below zero for the most part, and I do believe it is about 6 or 7 below zero Celsius here. Saskatchewan, kind of the same for most of the areas, but a little bit cooler there. And then you get into Manitoba, and that's that same weather that Nunavut's got. And like I said, I want Nunavut. Looking at what we see, Winnipeg coming in at -8 degrees Celsius. That's really not that bad yet. Northern Ontario running those same kinds of temperatures, even coming down onto the little panhandle down here. We see close to Detroit, it's about a -2. Toronto only coming in at -1, -2 today. Montreal, -5, and looking at Quebec, it is a -11 there, and looking at New Brunswick, all the way down to a -12 in the cold spots, southern end, maybe -2, -3, not bad. Cole Harbor probably coming in just below freezing, or right at freezing. There you go, Sue. Thank you. And that is out here in Nova Scotia, and it looks like a little cooler on PEI, but Nova Scotia for the most part all about the same temperatures, and maybe a tad cooler there in Newfoundland, but out here on the peninsula that's sticking out, it is a lot warmer at 4 degrees Celsius. Looking up here in Newfoundland Labrador area, we got cold temps up in the top end, and then around -10 or so there for the most part in that area. Looking at the western coast of the United States, we are seeing fair temperatures for this time of year, and that's not bad. Portland coming in at about 4. I'm surprised they don't show Seattle there. It is 7 degrees in Seattle. Eugene, Oregon coming in at about 5 degrees Celsius. Sacramento, California, 14 today. That's not bad. Sliding down. LA 14, 13, depending on where you are. Death Valley coming in at about 16 degrees. Wear a jacket or you're going to be awful cold. And these, of course, are nighttime temperatures because the sun has gone down in all these places. Mexicali coming in at 16 Celsius, 15 Celsius, or about 60 degrees there in Phoenix, and Tucson probably about the same, very close. Looking at New Mexico, looks a little cooler there for the most part, and some of the areas down in -9, -10 region. Same thing with northern Texas. They got those highs sitting in there, Texas and Oklahoma. So places like Tulsa and that area, what's in here, Oklahoma City, -3, Tulsa -2. So gives you a pretty good idea. Dallas only coming in at 5. Houston is kind of warm at 13. San Antonio at 11. And of course, the warm areas down here would be about 20 degrees Celsius. And that's close to our starbase. And starbase probably 19, 20 degrees. So not bad. And starbase, of course, that is where SpaceX is, for those who don't know. And of course, going in from Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, they're all about the same as far as temperatures are concerned. Even here in Atlanta, for the most part, it doesn't get warm until you get down to the bottom end of here in Florida. So not the greatest or warmest areas, and not the warmest time of year. We do see this South Carolina 4 or 5 degrees, 3 degrees in some spots. Of course, the Appalachians are going to be a lot colder, -7, -8 in some spots. Grandma B's house is just about above freezing, so she's probably got about 36, 37 degrees there at Grandma B's house, and sliding up the coast here at Philadelphia, 2 degrees, New York coming in at 4, Boston coming in at about 0, and I'm moving, I'm loving it too? Okay. And I bet you're liking your quiet place. Anyway, we see all these wind currents here, and I know people were saying about the snow. There is snow in many places around the lakes, so lake effect snow is happening, and they definitely have that. But we'll get back to the snow in a bit. Pardon me, and let's continue on coming down the coast, going looking at actually the Baja first, and not overly warm. Mazatlan, if you're planning to go on your vacation, I don't know, 23, 24, that's not super hot, and maybe a wait. It's got to warm up a little bit more. Acapulco, though, you can probably go there, 26, 27, 28 degrees, a little better. Mexico City itself, only about 14 right now. And looking at Cancun, Mexico, only at 25. So not the greatest as far as tropical vacations if you're going. You might want to maybe head down to well, you can go to El Salvador. You can maybe go to Costa Rica. They're a little warmer, and then, of course, nighttime temperatures again, so don't get freaked out. Panama looks pretty darn good right now, too, and that's not bad, but they've got a system sitting here. Bad part is this time of year, most of those places are kind of stormy, so you don't want to be there. Looking at our Amazon area, not bad for South America, and again, nighttime temperatures, so that is what we're looking at, anywhere from about 28, 29 in some spots, down to about 16 or something over here, 12, and some of the really cold spots, but for the most part, not looking too bad in Brazil, and Bolivia here at 26, 27, 29 in some spots. Northern parts of Argentina, same kind of thing, 32, 33, and some spots. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Buenos Aires coming in at 23, and we see a lot of that 23, 22, down to about 17 in Uruguay. Pretty nice there. And we see some cold bleeding over the mountains, but that's the bottom end of Argentina, getting it from Chile, and that's pretty normal though. And looking here, we still see these two lows doing the same thing, but this time this low has moved away and down a bit, so it's pushing more of that cold air in, and this high is helping it out by circulating in the opposite direction. Bringing up colder air, and it's kind of funny to see the bottom end of the South Island being 18, 19, 20 degrees, and the central area being about 9, 10, depending on where you are. And then you get back into the northern climes here, and they get all the way up to 20 degrees. And thankfully, that low was helping. Looking at Tasmania down on the bottom end, we see a 1920, and that is really good for them. A little bit better weather. 18 at Hobart, a little cooler up in the northern portions here. I think that might be higher land. And Leo brought up Melbourne, and 18 degrees Celsius in Melbourne. That's what the map says as well. So that is pretty awesome. And then, of course, Adelaide, a little bit warmer since it's got that warm stream coming through there at about 20 degrees Celsius. Perth only coming in at about 16, 17, and we see some very hot temperatures in the outback. Sydney coming in at, what do we got, 21, and that's not bad. Weather in Brisbane is about, oh, that's nice, 27 degrees to 28 degrees, and just on the outskirts here, I see a couple of numbers hitting 30 degrees as well. So if you want to go on a vacation, maybe that's the destination. The more I see that, the better off Brisbane is starting to look to me. And we'll even have a good friend there, Oz, if we go there. Anyway, that is looking at pretty good, 41, 42 degrees in the interior of our wonderful Australia. Anyway, looking at the rest of what we see here in our Malaysian, Indonesian area. By the way, Sue, just so you know, you can just use exclamation W. You don't have to type out weather all the way anymore. Just exclamation W and then a space and then the location. I did that to make it easier for you guys. So you might have seen that Leo used that on Brisbane and it worked very well for him. It's just something I threw in there to help you guys out a little bit. Anyway, Bangkok coming in at 28, 29 degrees, and that is pretty awesome. We do see this low here at 27 degrees Celsius. I know, but it puts the whole word when I type the W. Ah, okay, well, if it gives you the whole word, then that's all cool. Manila coming in at about 32 degrees. That is getting pretty warm. And sliding up a little bit further here, we see Japan bottom end only about 18 degrees, and it gets colder from there, and actually not so quickly till you get past Tokyo, and then it starts to get into the single digits, and northern Japan down to about 1-2 degrees depending on where you are. They've got a high sitting here in the Canary Islands, and that is kind of what I guess it's keeping it cool there or warm. I don't know, probably warmer. Anyway, we see Kamchatka Peninsula very cool there as well, and of course on the Siberian stuff here. Minus 36 is what I see now, minus 37, minus 39. That's pretty chilly. What about over here? Anything below minus 40? Nope, I don't see anything below minus 40 today. But still that, oh, there's a minus 40, minus 43 I seen. Okay, so, yep, northern Russia, minus 43 degrees Celsius. That is plenty cold. And looking over here into India, pretty normal, and that again, nighttime temperatures. South Africa, a little cooler today from the looks of things. Cape Town about 13, normally about 16, 17, so that's what we've got going on there. A little bit warmer over here with 26, 27, and that's not so bad. Madagascar is still holding about the same temperature as normal. And of course this would be our tropical rainforest area right now, doing not so bad, and our Sahara Desert, not overly warm yet, but it is changing. Only 13 degrees, 14 in Cairo. That is pretty chilly for those good folks. And UAE showing at 21, 20, 22 degrees depending on where you are there. Same thing with Oman, a little cooler in some spots in Yemen, and most of Saudi Arabia are holding a plus 20 degrees there for the most part, till you get up in the north parts here, 9-10 degrees up in the northern parts. Same thing goes for some of the other countries like Syria and most of Iraq and Iran. I ran away from that place because it's, other than the coast, it's pretty cold. Looking a little warmer again here in Turkey as some of those warm flows push through, and of course that means warmer weather for Piggy on the island of Kos, and it's amazing that we are seeing that, and 19, 20, 21 degrees for there. 19 right now. Thanks, Leo, for putting that one up. Kathy is here. Welcome, Kathy. Glad to have you on board. Anyway, Crete coming in at coastal areas about 20 degrees as well. Same thing with most of Greece. Not bad in those areas. And again, kind of same rubber stamp going into Sicily, and of course the higher elevations, a little cooler, and maybe we'll see more snow on Etna soon. We'll see what happens. Actually, with this flow coming up with the warm air, it will likely not snow too much there, but it's neat to see. Anyway, looking at what we see in the rest of Italy, cool, showing about 8 degrees in Milano right now. And then getting out here, a new Irish monkland, and that would be, of course, Sardinia. And bottom end, coastal areas warmer, but not reaching 20 at all. And we see mid to low teens for the most part. Some places just a tad colder. And cool in Spain tonight, very cold for the most part. All the way down, even into Morocco, and I'm kind of surprised at that they're getting 5-6 degrees Celsius all the way down there. Same thing for most of Portugal, not as warm coastline, a little bit warmer, but interior cooler, and actually it looks like even France has cooled down a whole bunch, looking at all of it, and it is single digits for the most part until you get into the Alps, and we get minus temperatures. And here we see some cold, really pushing in -4 in Berlin, and we got -3 in Hamburg, and definitely cooling off a whole bunch. Where's Cologne? They didn't put it on the map. Somewhere over here. Essen is 3 Grad, yeah. Looking here, Frankfurt was 4 degrees, Munich 4. I'm not going to worry about those places. Home of OFU Lux, about 6-7 degrees Celsius, a little warmer right there in that portion of Belgium, but the other places are all still about the same. So, got 7 to about 9 degrees. Some of that cold is bleeding into the northern parts of Holland as well. Low single digits in the southern part, and then getting into minus temperatures there in the other areas. Sliding up a little bit. I just wanted to look at Lübeck, -3 Bern, and of course, I'm looking at Denmark, a lot cooler than normal. Even Copenhagen only at about 2 degrees. And I dare not look. Oslo about -1 or 0, very close to it. Stockholm coming in at about -1 as well. And if we go over here, St. Petersburg -4. Moscow will be a lot colder, -7 degrees Celsius right now. Not so bad here in Iceland, because they are getting some of those warmer currents pushing up, but not as warm as yesterday. Looking at about 5 degrees, and Reykjavik yesterday was about 7 degrees, and we had about the same, we had about 6 degrees in Reykjavik area, where Fagradalfjall area, and it looks like about 4 or 5 degrees there now. So a lot of colder areas today. Let's take a look at precipitation, and we'll try to perceive temperature. No, I want to see there. That's precipitation. We do see the snow. We have some snow up in Alaska, and nothing in the Yukon, and most of almost right along the borders where that cuts off. Well, it's right there, but a little bit in here in looks like Yellowknife might be getting a little bit of rain, but look, or snow, I should say. But most of Northwest Territories, no snow, not till you get into Nunavut, and even Nunavut doesn't have too much. But sliding down, we see that system in northern Ontario and, of course, Manitoba. We do see that in there, and then we get over to the Great Lakes, as we mentioned before. With that cold air, we get a lake effect snow, and that is what's happening in those areas. So lots of snow for those good people. Grand Rapids looking like they're getting a bunch of snow as well. And up in here at the northern portions here of the peninsula, Ontario, anyway, getting nailed, as well as going into places like Buffalo and so on, buried in snow. I wonder how much the snow they got there in Buffalo yesterday. They're going to get more today, so we'll see if that blows in there or if that moves up a little bit more. But hopefully they won't. Looks like it's going to snow in New York, and that'll be okay. Timer, what? Time on my phone. Oh, time on your phone? I don't know why you're talking about your phone. Looking at, sorry, Sharon, I'm just kind of lost. Timer, but my phone. Okay. Phone time, or is it charge time? Anyway, looking at what we see here in our Sue's weather, she's going to get some snow. Cole Harbor, not the friendliest place anymore. I bet you she likes to have a better. We have to time our cooking, or we forget. Oh, okay, timer. Go to the kitchen and fix it. And now I get it. I use my timer on my phone too, and actually the timer on the phone works really well. That buzzes and snorts, and as long as you put it back in your pocket or have it somewhere close by. Looking at the United States as far as how much snow we're getting, most places nothing, which is really nice, with the exception of the stuff around the Great Lakes and New York and the areas up there. We aren't seeing a heck of a lot. A little bit down here in Texas, but don't know what's going to happen with this system yet. That looks like it's just churning here in the Gulf of Mexico, going down into our Central American countries. Looks like they are getting a bunch of different storms as well. Countries like Belize and I guess eastern portions of Guatemala and some into Mexico. And then, what is that? That's not Nicaragua. That's, oh, hang on. What country is that? No, that used to be British Honduras. Is Honduras? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, Nicaragua, and then they got anyway, lots of rain there. Don't go there right now. Don't go. Go find some warmer place. Anyway, looking at South America, we do see the rainforests are getting some rain yet, and down here in Argentina, they're getting some rain as well. And I'm sure they welcome that water because it is a fairly dry place. So leaving that alone, we do see down here in the bottom end of Chile, they're getting some storms in those areas. And we'll slide over here to New Zealand, and we'll see what we've got. There's those two lows again, and of course that high is helping bring up that cold air, and here's where that cold temperature is coming in. Right in the middle of the South Island, and the warmer areas up top, but they are still all pretty much getting a rain. And it's no wonder Leo don't have his barbecue out. It's pouring rain there. I was wondering about that. Looks like Tasmania's not bad, just a little bit of rain on the corner there, but looks like definitely some showers there in Melbourne, and definitely getting it. Even Adelaide definitely getting some too. Sydney looks dry. Brisbane looks dry. Better tropical vacation. Go to Brisbane. And sliding over here a little bit before I get too carried away, I want to take a look at Fiji and that area. We do have that system going through there. That's not so bad. And then Vanuatu getting nailed with some rain there. Same thing with Solomon Islands and those places. And then what a mess here in Indonesia, Malaysia, and all that. Good night, all. Thank you, Dr. Fox and mods. Appreciate all, as well as everyone else here. Oink, oink. And Leo, you take care, buddy, and all the best. And I know, you know, being so much older, you probably need to have a nap now or something. This show does drag on a little bit. I know I'm feeling it. Anyway, take care, Leo, and have a wonderful day there. And you're just starting your day, so it'll all be good. And hey, C&D boy, LOL, true, yeah, okay, thanks. Anyway, we do see that a low system there, and that is throwing in some storms. Here's the bottom end of Japan getting nailed with some stuff as well. Top end getting a little bit of snow. Kamchatka Peninsula, I thought they'd have more snow today, but not too bad. Sliding over here into the Indian Ocean, we do see our equatorial storm still hitting across there. This low sitting out here in the Indian Ocean, of course. And the rainforest areas are still getting it, and Namibia and those places still have a bunch of Congo and about that area. Actually, it looks like a fog for the most part. And then sliding up here a little bit more, we see some rain in Saudi Arabia. That's pretty awesome for those guys. And it may even be raining on Kos. Oh, again, skirting of the Piggy is just on the edge of it. And she might get some rain out of this. We'll see what happens. But I don't know if she's going to get rain. Very close, though. Very, very close. We do still see the rest of Greece here. About half of it is getting some muchly needed rain. And northern portions of western Italy are getting nailed. Sardinia definitely getting nailed. Palma definitely got a whole bunch as well. Border region here between Spain and France, definitely getting some moisture, and we slide that out. Looking at Germany has got some snow happening there. Same thing with, I guess, the Austria and those countries as well. And hit and miss for most of it. Boy, this is going to be nasty once this moves over a little bit more and gets over into Ireland. Not too wet in England right now, and a little bit happening here, going out, coming from Russia, I guess, the way that circulation is pulling it out. So Sweden just skirting a little bit of snow, and here is our wonderful Iceland, and they are in for some more bad weather, I guess, snow. And here's the eastern portion getting nailed with some heavy rains as well. That is our temperature for today. We do see some ice rain up here in the Greenland Sea area, as well as up here near Svalbard. They're getting snowed out as well. On that note, let's pop over and see if we can find our coldest temperatures on the planet for today, and we'll see what that is. And minus 52 so far, 53, and let's see what else we can find. And minus 53 right there. Oh, I seen a minus 54. Let's zoom in there a little bit and search. Minus 54. And zoom in a little more, see if we can find anything colder. Hang on, I seen it flip to a 5. just for a second. It's in here somewhere. Minus 54. Where's that minus 55? I just seen it. Just for a split second, it flipped over. Oh, there it is. I seen it again. It's in here. So there's got to be a minus 55 in this area. Oh, I found it. There it is. All right, and that is what I'm going to stick with. Minus 55 degrees Celsius. Sue Hayes, coldest temp I found in Antarctica, minus 55 Celsius. Way to go, Sue, and Cananaska's country too. So it is a tie for tonight, I guess. And since I'm busy running the show, I'll volunteer both you, Sue, and Cananaska's country to go feed the penguins tonight. They're all yours. Amelia, welcome. I'm glad to have you on board. And thanks, Sharon, for bringing up those wonderful trophies there. I love them. And that is it, you guys. That is it for our show for tonight. And hope everyone enjoyed it. Thank you very kindly, everyone, for being here. I do appreciate each and every one of you. And of course, I just want to remark and say thanks to the entire Lava family, whether you are a green or member or not. And Penguin Adventure Tour, yep. You know, it is those one of those things. Anyway, a big thank you to our donators tonight. We've got Paul Williams threw in 2 super chats there. Lizoid threw in a super chat, and Tom Dice also threw in a super chat. Thank you guys. Really, I do appreciate that wonderful support. Kevin Haynes gifted 1 membership as well. Thank you, Kevin. And hey, I just came on. Philomena, yeah, I can't help that. You gotta come in earlier. The show starts at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, and that's about 3 hours ago. So if you want to come in earlier, that would really help you out. But welcome, Philomena. It is time to wrap it up, though. And I want to say again, thanks, you guys, for that wonderful support from Paul and Lizoid and Tom and Kevin. I appreciate all of you guys, and that is very kind of you. I didn't see you or the notification, so yeah. Philomena, just so you know, I do post the link. Yeah, as far as the notification, that's a YouTube thing. I don't control that. Okay, YouTube sends out the notifications, and I cannot control them. But I do every day when I start the show. I usually by 4:30 my time, Mountain Time here, I put up the link in the other chat in my bunny stream, because that is a 24/7 stream, just so you're aware of that. And usually we start the show officially at 5 p.m., so half an hour beforehand, and just so you know that. I didn't see it, so yeah. Okay, no worries. But I'm just letting you know. You know, if you wanted to check there, you would know that it is there, and then you would be able to pop over if you like. Okay, take care. Be good, Philomena, and be good, everyone. Keep smiling and take good care of yourself. Now tomorrow is Saturday. So the stream starts 3 hours earlier. Remember that, just so you guys know. And there's your reminder for tomorrow. So instead of starting at 5 my time, it will start at 2 o'clock my time. And that'll be 4 Eastern. And let's see, what is it in Pacific? Would be 1 o'clock Pacific time, if I'm right, something like that. Boy, math is hard after you're up too long. and you got a full stomach. By the way, I did go to the German deli today. I really messed up. I was going to go to Safeway first, and I went to the German deli instead. I went there first. And that was a mistake because once I got all that German food, I came home to drop it off, and I said, no, I got to have some lunch. Then I ate, and I ate, and then my stomach was full, and I said, well, I'm not going to go to Safeway. I still have to go pick up coffee creamer. So that is, yep, 1 p.m. Pacific. Thanks, Sharon. I still have to go pick up a coffee creamer for tomorrow morning's coffee. Otherwise, I'm not going to have a hot coffee in the morning and or a creamerless coffee, and I don't like that. So I still have to go out tonight and get that, but that was my bad completely. Anyway, be good, you guys. Take care of yourselves. I'm going to throw this back on some canned lava for wrapping things up here. I just want to make sure there's enough in that can that we don't need to worry about it. And we'll let that play. And on that friendly note, it is time to wrap things up. Be good, everyone. Take care. Be nice. Try not to throw snowballs at each other if you're in a snowy area. Sometimes those hurt. And on those notes, only one thing to add. Please make sure that you tell your loved ones that you love them tonight, for tomorrow is never promised. I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Now we'll see everybody tomorrow, early at 2 p.m. Mountain, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, and all those other times. He had a stream up for most of the day. Almost 4 hours. Yay. Yes, 3 hours, 35 minutes is what the timer is saying. Anyway, take care, everyone. Be good, and oink oink.